Dun dun dun. Take it back to 1996. But oh, anyways, 1990. Anyways, I'm reviewing the movie Set It Off by F. Gary Gray. The movie came out in the year 1996, 2 years before I was born. Anyways, I didn't really know about this man's work. I didn't really know. I just listened to Dolly Parton's new song, and Queen Latifah was in it, and Lainey Wilson was in it. Something Bright Blue Morning or something like that. I think it's like Light of the Bright Blue Morning. But anyways, the song was good. So I was like, Queen Latifah. So I was looking up movies and things to watch, and like I just binge watched yesterday Mr. Robot. So I was like, let me look up movies. Anyways, Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, Kimberly Elise, Vivian A. Fox. It was a star-studded cast. Yeah, it was really, really good. Blair Underwood was like the black George Clooney, or George Clooney is I think he's Egyptian, or George Clooney is a white Blair Underwood, but good. You had John C. Ginley, and then you had Ella Joyce, and then Dr. Dre, the domestic abuser. But again, he's still good, so I'll acknowledge his talent and skill as a musician and a billionaire selling beats and an actor, because I think he did pretty good in this. The screenwriter was Kate Lanier and Takashi Buford. I think the screenplay was good enough. I think there's a lot of flaws in it, but I just think it was just like, if the movie was twice as serious, it would have been a way better movie. It would have been like, that was enjoyable and I like these things, versus like, I really enjoy the whole thing. And again, I'll just go back to a movie. If it was directed by Christopher Nolan, would this movie have been amazing? Yes. Yes, it would have. But it was directed by F. Gary Gray, so it was good. I think F. Gary Gray is a good director. He did, his breakout film was Friday in 1995. He started off making a bunch of music videos. He did The Italian Job, which I like. He did Fast and Furious 2017, which I like. He did The Negotiator with Kevin Spacey and Samuel Jackson, which I liked. And then he did New Men in Black, which I liked, but the plot was so boring. I think his weakness is that he doesn't have a creative plot. And there's not a lot of like creativity and ingenuity, basically. It's not a really sophisticated, like, think plot. It's just like, kind of just like, I'm good at, like, the kind of flair and just overall enjoyment of the movie. Like, the comfort of the movie. I'm just not really good at the plot, which, like, probably should go further find people who were like, kind of like tweak the plot so it's just more interesting. I feel like if you would have just rearranged a few scenes and just turned up the intensity and just made it more dramatic and like twice as serious, I think this movie would have like knocked that out of the park, instead of just being good and enjoyable with really good star-studded cast in Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, Kimberly Elise, and Vivian Fox. Also, what happened? Where are they now? Like, Queen Latifah had went out to success and have her own Equalizer TV show and became a successful rapper and things like that. But there's a Jada Pinkett Smith kind of fell off. Kimberly Elise kind of fell off, and Vivian A. Fox kind of fell off. And I don't think it's their fault. I think just Hollywood's racist. Like, just Hollywood's racist, because they don't have like the acting talent straight up, but they have the star power, So there's not any reason why they still wouldn't have a big career, except for Hollywood is like, nah, y'all black, basically. Which, like, that's the way I see it, so that's what I'm gonna call it. But totally, because I was watching this movie, I was like, how are they not still big names now, But yeah, like, Hollywood's racist, Like, and I feel like this whole movie in itself, a lot of ways, was kind of typecast, and it was kind of racist. I don't know what specifically the movie was racist, but just in general, overall, I'm like, it just felt racist. The movie just felt like it didn't like, it was more stereotypical and more based off of just like ideas of things. Even though it had a black director who knows his stuff, I just like the way the movie was put together, and I know it's a time period, whatever like that, but I'm still gonna call it out, and I feel like that's also a big flaw of this movie. It just feels too racist. It doesn't feel like it focuses on the characters. It's like, you're black, blackity black, black. This is your character. You're black, blackity black, black. This is your character. I'm like, come on, like, just make a movie. Don't make it about like this specific like race or this thing or trying this false culture appropriation. Just make the movie and story that should be there. And I think if they would have focused more on telling the story instead of like making like, there's too many like race cards in this movie. I'm like, oh my God, man, give me the movie. I just wanted the movie, and it was a damn good movie. I really enjoyed it, even though I watched it on 3x speed for like the majority of the movie. I still enjoyed the movie, and I thought it was a good movie. Basically, I think it's slow because the further back you go in time, the movies are going to be slow. So 2000s, you're going to get slow movies. 90s, you're going to get slow movies. 80s, you're going to get slow movies that are like always really slow in the middle. And it ends with like a weird like warehouse shootout. Basically, the 70s, 50s, especially the 70s, they'll go like weird slow, basically. But yeah, I don't know. The further back you go, you'll get like regular movies that are kind of too slow. So 2x speed, baby. Anyways, but I really enjoy this movie. Especially the ending, the last 50% of the third act really like, oh, it's so good. There's so much emotion and it was quality storytelling. I think the entire movie is very enjoyable. I just think that F. Gary Gray's weakness is just creativity, sophistication, and ingenuity in the script and the screenplay overall. And that came out and you saw that. I think there's too much racial things in this movie where it's just like, you could have did the same thing, but you just didn't have to like, it was extenuating and highlighting all of these things instead of just telling a story as human beings and as people. And I felt like they were treating me like I'm stupid, like an audience, but also I just felt offended. I feel like, why'd you have to like make it like this? It was just like too stereotypical, just felt like you're black, do black stuff. You're a white cop in John G. Ginley, do white cop stuff. It was never just like, hey, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee as a normal human being. It's like, you're gonna get a cup of coffee and you're gonna like the cup of coffee that white people like or black people like. You just felt that throughout the whole movie, basically. And it was like too dramatic, especially in the first act. In times, it's just way too dramatic. All right, let me try and calm down. But it's just like way too dramatic, and I'm like, whoa. Why is this so dramatic? Like, just let the story tell itself. Let the story be what it is. And I feel like there was too much force, especially in the first act, of trying to make the movie into something. It's just like, and you could have like cut the first act, like whatever, I really didn't like how it was like, oh, our black husbands or boyfriends or lovers were bank robbers, so we're also black, we're gonna become bank robbers and chase the money, you know? It was just like, felt kind of racist. Just like, why couldn't they just like make the story that they wanted to say because they wanted to make it? Like, you know, it's like, why did they need like men to rob banks for them to rob banks? You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's like, oh, they needed a cause, but did they really? I feel like they could have just been more like, I don't know. I just feel like it could have been a different story in the beginning that sets them on this path to become bank robbers. I feel like you could have just had something just more simple, something more interesting that would have conveyed a lot, I feel like, to the audience in the story. And it would have made me feel better. I feel like it was just like, oh, they wronged us black people. Let's avenge them by killing cops. It's like, whoa, like, it's like you gotta explain why they're doing what they're doing. It can't just be a revenge or to avenge because you're going after money too. You could have just had them very similar to Widows, where they're like regular people who are kind of don't have money, and then something happens, and then that's how they get into the life of crime. I just feel like it could have had a really strong opening and authentic instead of being more about like shock and awe and fear and like over dramaticness. It could have just felt better, you know? And I just felt like there's not a quantifiable statistical way to analyze how I felt about the first act. It just didn't feel like it was strong enough, and it felt like so stereotypical, so racist vibed. And I was like, I just wanted a movie that was gonna be a movie. I didn't want like this thing, that thing, or like that. Like it's like, I don't know. Like I'm looping 4K over Ireland. Flying over Ireland in 4K, basically, as background watching. But anyways, yeah, I just really felt like the second act kind of picked itself up, and the third act was good, but this last half of the third act really sold it for me. And And again, it's like too much relying on eye candy. It's like, oh, Jada Pinkett Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, Kimberly Elise, Vivian A. Fox, Vivian A. Fox. Obviously, they're beautiful, you know. Obviously, they're beautiful black women. Okay, dude, I knew that if I watched the poster or the trailer. Like, you didn't need to tell me that, you know. Like, don't pull a freaking Jessica, what's her name? Jessica Biel, Jessica Alba. What is her name? Jessica Alba. Sorry. Jessica Alba. Yeah, Jessica Alba. Where it's just like, you have a talented actor who you're just like using them for eye candy and be like, oh, you're attractive. It's like, let them act. Let them do their jobs. Like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, the movie was good. It's just like, again, like, and I know it was product of its time in the 20,000 or 2000 or whatever it is, but it's just like, let them do their job, bro. Let them act. Like, what are we doing here? You know, if we have all these actresses and actors people and they never get a shot, basically, like, and you can't expect anybody else to succeed if you don't give them a fair go, you know. And to me, I just found that like super frustrating where I'm like, yo, Lark, give them like a close up and let them feel emotional about this thing. You know, it's like all these like wide or just farther away shots, or like these full shots of the actor crying. Let the actress convey the emotions to me, the character, or let the actor convey the emotions to me, the audience, you know, like give it a fair go. And I feel like this movie, and I feel like some of F. Gary Gray's movies, he just doesn't give. Like, it's in that creativity, that creativity and that sophistication that you allow the characters to give their fair go, their fair shot, their fair emotions. Like, you think of Christopher Nolan, he's always letting the characters like go on stage and perform. And I really wanted that for this movie. Although it was a good movie and it was enjoyable and I had fun, it was more on the actresses who sold it and the actors, you know. And the feel of the movie itself just feeling good and fun versus the plot in the more in-depth aspects of the film itself. And again, I just like, it's also got a frustration about the 2000s, you know, where it's like there's not enough intensity and emotion and feel. It was just about does it feel good overall, but not specifically, how does this emotion make you feel? How does this scene make you feel? How does this cause and effect? How does this character dying really make you feel? What are the lasting effects? It feels like there's like kind of like everyone's kind of like absolved from feeling like emotions. It's like too cartoony, basically. It's like cartoony and melodramatic, like in the beginning, and it becomes less of that, but it's just like, that's how a lot of the era of 2000s were, you know, and it's like, I just felt like it's too much like black movie, instead of being just good movie. And that's what I really wanted to see. I didn't get that, but I still walked away with an enjoyable movie. It's a good movie. I know it's dated. I know it's from the 2000s. I know that was the era and the standard and the status quo at the time, but I'm still gonna critique it because I have a brain. Anyways, yeah. Again, I like all female characters. I like that. There's another movie called I forget what it was. It was like these 4 women's. I think it was called The Mercenaries. That was really good. And then Widows, The Mercenaries movie. Yeah, it was called Mercenaries. Oh, it also had Vivian A. Fox. Basically, it was 2014, and like that, like. It's not like the cast was bad. It's just like the women never had a chance to like be in a good movie. That like in the movie The Mercenaries in 2014, it's like everything was so bad. The directing was so bad. The video quality was so bad. The plot was god awful, so bad, and then everything felt cheesy, and it feels like you had an incompetent, an incompetent producer, basically, that was out to get the movie, was out to make it bomb, you know. So anyways, anytime I get all female cast, or majority the main characters are all female, and it's like action based movie, I always perk up because I'm like, we don't get a lot of them. You know, and a lot of them are good. I really like Widows. I did still like Mercenaries, even though it was not a good movie at all. And I really enjoyed this movie, you know, even though it could have been way better, just by being serious. But I'm gonna be grateful for what I have. You know, art is art. You create it, and it exists as it exists. We can't make you know, things exist that don't exist, you know, and we can only hope and talk and communicate for a better future of movies and a better future to have just more diversity and depth and interest in the movie. And, you know, if it was going to go for something, I would appreciate that. But the movie just didn't, where it stayed too safe. It stayed too in the middle. And I wouldn't, like, even if you have a movie that's like not good but gimmicky, just be good at that gimmick. Like, make it fun, make it enjoyable in whatever lane it is, you know? If it's Christopher Nolan, it's gonna be serious. If it's Steven Spielberg, it's gonna make you feel something. If it's Greta Gerwig, she's gonna make you think and have a good, feel good, you know? Feel good as in like more of a relatable friend type of way, you know? And just depending on the director, they're gonna do their job if you're a top director. And I just want to see that going forward, like, especially when you have a majority female cast or majority male cast or whatever it is, like, you know, just like go for whatever you're going and like have more fun, you know? It's like you can see that so much. Like, I think Steven Spielberg's best movie is Ready Player One, not because it's the best technical movie or whatever. I just feel like he's having fun. And normally he's very like focused on the movie, on making the script goes to life, and he's the gatekeeper of the goats. But it's like a lot of times I think people just want fun, you know? Someone's telling you a story in real life, like, because that's how a lot of movies are. If someone's telling you a story about real life, just like, even if it's a boring story, just have it interesting, fun, be animated, be just interesting, be like, do it in kind of funny voice or interesting voice, or like make it like super serious or super fun or super like relaxed, you know? Like whatever that movie is from the 1998. Anyways, the movie's good. I enjoyed it. Go watch it. Set It Off, 1996. What movie I was thinking about? It's what is a movie about hippie high schoolers kids in the 90s? Maybe it's the 70s. Dazed and Confused. There we go. Dazed and Confused, you know, it's not a serious movie. It's just a really, really laid back stoner movie that makes you think. It's just like, do the movie, but do it good, you know? And like go all out for the movie. If it's all out comedy stuff, if it's all out seriousness, if it's all out melodramatic or all out just entertaining overall, do it. But don't have any inconsistencies, or just keep it in even heat, as Gordon Ramsay say, and it's gonna be enjoyable. But yeah, some hits, some misses, some highs, some lows. But as I said, go watch Set It Off, 1996. What a cast! F. Gary Gray.